Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our second Opera Live broadcast here on Facebook. My name is Cody Martin. I'm the Director of Education at Pensacola Opera, and I'm coming to you live from my home. A couple of just after our performance was canceled, our opera staff has been buzzing with creative energy, planning and producing events and content and materials to try to stay connected with our opera family. And OperaLIVE is an exciting part of this that I'm really proud to be a part of. I hope you were able to see our last OperaLIVE broadcast last week with tenor John Risen. And then we also posted a special performance featuring Sheila Dunn and Corey McKern. If you missed those are both available still on our Facebook and YouTube pages. So I hope you will check those out. And then during this broadcast, it's very interactive. If you would like to ask any questions for either me or for our guest today, just type those in the chat. And then if we have time, we'll get to those as much as we can. Today's guest is no stranger to Pensacola Opera. Mary Holway has been a member of our opera chorus, having performed in over 20 of our main stage productions. And whenever she's not on stage, Mary is a music educator. She's an elementary music teacher, creating all of the opera stars of tomorrow, I think. So we'd like to welcome Mary. Let's see. And you are on. Hello, Mary.
Hello. How are you doing, Cody?
Oh, I'm great. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you.
Great. Thank you for joining us. I would love to just have you give us a little overview, who you are, where you're from, how you got to Pensacola, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, okay. Well, as you said, I'm Mary Holway. I got to Pensacola with my husband. I have 3 kids, and my husband was military. He retired after 27 years. He was stationed at Eglin Air Force Base. So he went back and forth. We decided that Gulf Breeze was the place we needed to be for our kids. So he went back and forth for 5 years and drove over 100 miles each day. So we ended up here after a 27-year wonderful life, and I ended up with the opera only because I haven't really been with the opera that long. 2008 was my first opera, and I have done over 20, I think I'm close to 25. But I've sung with community choruses all over the world and all over the United States. And so I started with the community courses here, and then I decided to go back to school and get my degree in music education. So I got my degree in 2007, and that's when I started doing operas.
Wow, so you are new to being a teacher, relatively.
Yes, this is my 11th year teaching because I
That's
started
incredible.
in 2008.
What did you do before that? You were just a stay-at-home
As a stay-at-home
mom?
mom, yep,
Love that.
take care of all them.
Great.
And of course, the things that I love to do is to sing, and so I sang whenever I could. That's possible. I started in the 2nd grade with my mom. I can remember my very first solo in the 2nd grade. My mom was a church organist, and so she had me in every course that was possible. High school, I did all that,
Yeah.
all sorts of choirs. So that's how I started.
So is Pensacola Opera the first opera you've been a part of?
Absolutely. I had never even seen an opera.
Wow.
Other than sung them when I went to school, sung arias from operas. I had not seen an opera. My first opera was here.
Wow, very good. And what have some of your favorite Pensacola Opera experiences that you've had so far?
Oh my gosh, I can't. This was so hard for me. I loved being in Aida, of course, with the elephant. The elephant was amazing. I don't know if you know, but there was a live elephant the first time we did Aida, coming back from having the Sanger renovated, and her name was Kamba, and we watched her go on and off the stage many times. It was a lot of fun. I loved Cavalleria Pagliacci. It was really fun because it had a lot of action. We were running around on stage as well as Turandot, and of course the music is beautiful. La Traviata. We had so much fun in Traviata. The costumes were probably my favorite of all. And also the music in Traviata. There we are.
Oh, I
That's
know. I
Traviata.
love Traviata.
And Butterfly. Oh my gosh, the music and the costumes, very, very, very beautiful. The action, surprisingly enough, I think the one that we didn't get to do, Trovatore, probably would have been up there in the one or in the first or second maybe spot, because we had so much going on and we were running on and off the stage. And the costume, even though it was a little different than what I'm used to, I mean, I was in combat boots and a soldier outfit, but I had a sword that was as long as my arm running around on stage.
Yeah.
It really would have been fun, and I'm
Yeah.
looking forward, hopefully, to doing that someday.
For those of you who don't know, our recent, we were supposed to be doing Il Trovatore on March 20th and 22nd, and it was a new production that was based in, a post-apocalyptic, dystopic, a wasteland, kind of a la Mad Max or something along those lines. So it was the same story and the same high stakes, but it was going to be an exciting production, and we're still really hopeful and planning on presenting it at a different time. So stay tuned for that. I hope we can get everybody back on board with that soon.
Me too.
You also braved our incredible Florencia production last season. Tell us about that.
I did. That was really exciting. Same director as was doing Il Trovatore, and we were dressed all in white from head to toe. I mean, head to toe, fingers and toes. And we were part of the set in the way that was very interesting. We were waves, or the part of the river. We were the river. It's hard to explain if you haven't actually seen it. And when we were told what we were going to do, we kind of went, okay. But once it all came together, it was one of the most interesting experiences of my life. And the people that came to see it loved it very, very much. They just couldn't believe that we were actually down there being the river the whole time, just almost the whole time. It was a lot of
incredible.
fun.
And it's some of my favorite music of all of opera too. It was so beautiful.
Yes, yes, yes.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about, you're a music teacher. So you've had a little bit of a change in your life right now, I'm sure. How's that going?
Well, so tomorrow will be our 5th day of remote learning. In Escambia County. I think that Santa Rosa is in exactly the same place. So last Wednesday we sent home packets and packets of things for the kids to do. A lot of us are using music websites, and the websites have been made available for our kids to use. But if there's no devices in the home, or if there's no Wi-Fi, that can be kind of interesting. I think that a lot of my stuff that went home had a listening element to it. Next week, I think I'm going to roll out Squilt, which is super quiet, uninterrupted listening time. And they listen, and then they either draw a picture, or they write a story, or they write an opera, or they write in their journal what it made them feel like. Those kind of things are very important for this kind of thing. But I would like to say that my heart goes out to those parents at home who have never really taught, and this was not something that they wanted to do, and especially the ones that are teachers, because they have to teach from home and then maybe teach 2 or 3 kids at the same time. And the music teachers in Escambia, I have 141 kids that I teach school. Wow. That I teach music to, but they have 800 or 900. So I'm especially, and I do want to say one thing about the music teachers in Escambia and in Santa Rosa. Trovatore, we had, I think Amy Maddox was looking at this. We had maybe, I think she said 10 or 11 music educators in that chorus. So Katie and Hannah and Evelyn and Amy, of course, and I'm going to miss a lot of people, and I'm sorry, but whoever you are out there, it was really a lot of fun doing that with you guys this time.
Yeah, we do have a lot of music teachers in our chorus, which is a really cool overlap, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the ways that we can get that music in our soul out, because even though we're teaching it almost every day, we're teaching different kinds of things. Like you said, we're teaching the future opera
Right,
star.
exactly. So what kinds of lessons? You said there was a quiet listening. What other kinds of at-home lessons are you able to do right now?
Well, Amy sent me a thing that I sent home for the kids. It's a bingo game, and it's a music PE bingo game. So every other square has a PE element and then a music element. So they have to go out and find something that makes a quiet noise, a piano noise, or a forte noise, a loud noise, or they have to stop and sing a song to their mom or something like that, and then they can play bingo and that kind of thing. I actually sent home over 70 recorders to the third, fourth, and fifth graders this
Oh,
year. So they are, I do a thing called recorder karate. And so as they learn songs, and the first song is, as you know, Hot Cross Buns,
of
um,
course.
that would be a white belt. And so as they learn songs, they record the songs and send them to me, and then I award them a belt or we work on it again. And I've already had 3 kids record songs, and we're only on our 4th day. So
Wow, that's incredible.
I apologize to the parents for sending
I
them
was
to
gonna
me
say, I bet
home.
the parents really love the recorders being at home.
But I did give them tips on how to practice without making any sound, and you can do that with a recorder. So
Yes, there's lots of other ways to practice.
yeah, yeah.
I'm sure you're kind of bummed. So Mary has been a longtime partner with the opera in our From Words to Music program. How many years have you done that?
Yeah, probably 10, 10
10
years.
years? Yeah. So this is a program where the students and the teachers, the teachers work together and find a book, and they compose their own opera based on the book. They write songs, they write words, they design sets and decide what they're going to wear. And it's a whole interactive experience, which normally takes place at the beginning of May for you, I believe. So that clearly is not going to happen. So what were you planning, and how far had you gotten before this all ended?
Oh, good question. We were doing Rainbow Fish, and we had almost finished the libretto. We were just almost done. We were down to the ending, working on the ending. We'd started talking about songs and started working on songs. And many of the kids were saying, "I want to be this fish and I want to be this crab." And so we had started thinking about sets. From Words to Music is really nice because it involves the teacher. That's the Sneetches. That's a couple of years ago. Those kids graduated last year.
Oh,
Um,
wonderful.
it involves a teacher, the art teacher, and then all the parents. So it's a very, very good program, not only to teach them about opera, but to teach them about projecting and singing or talking in front of people. And it gets them out. It kind of pushes that envelope that they really need when they're in 2nd grade. So we do it with the 2nd graders. It was From Words to Music is, and what we've talked about, maybe something, if we get back, we might possibly have just a run through on the last day of school or something like that. We're hoping that we
Oh
can.
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I've been at these performances since I've been here, and it's always so exciting. The kids are so excited. They're so proud of what they've created, and they're
Yeah.
nervous, but at the same time, um,
One of the best things for me is they do it for the whole school. Then the next day, I don't know if you've ever seen one of those productions, but the
right.
first thing I say to them is, the kids, how many of you have been in one of these productions? And of course, the third, fourth, and fifth graders are going, yay. And then I say, how many would you like to be in this? And the first graders are all going, yes. They're scream and yell. It's just so exciting. They're so looking forward to that next year production. So
Yeah, it's really wonderful. And for kids and adults and everybody being in Pensacola, there's so many ways to be exposed to the arts.
yeah.
I mean, we have so much going on here. I mean, how do you feel about Pensacola as an arts town, and how is that important, and how is it compared to other places you've lived maybe?
Yeah. Well, I've lived in very, very big cities. I haven't really lived in small cities, so I can't compare it to a smaller city. I mean, I've lived in Washington, D.C., and
Sure.
so those kind of places, and overseas is different too. But coming here, I think having opera, symphony, our community choruses, our children's chorus, which I do want to do a plug before we go for the children's Pensacola Children's Chorus just rolled out their virtual choir. I saw it on Facebook just yesterday, and I've already shared it twice. And it's something that if you are interested in being a part of a virtual choir, they've got it all set up. So look into that. But the children's courses are so important. I think if we didn't have this kind of thing, where would we go? We would have to go to New York or, Washington or the San Francisco, and that's hard. We wouldn't see it. So many people would not be exposed if we didn't have this kind of thing in Pensacola. And we have high quality community, high quality.
There's a lot going on. So you're obviously involved with the opera. And what other organizations, or you said you sang in community choirs when you first moved here, yeah?
I sang with with Shellen's group, and I've also, of course, I was in every university choir that we could possibly be.
Right. Yeah.
And done Messiah with the community chorus that we love many times, and so those kind of things. And I haven't ever done any PLT or anything like that, but of course, church is huge for me. I've always been a church musician. We're doing virtual church right now and singing with that, and just getting to be a part of maybe a symphony chorus that we've constantly, or maybe every once in a while, gotten to do. Brahms, I think we did Brahms Requiem a couple of years ago with this symphony, and they did it this year, which is really cool. And after Ivan, we did Beethoven's Ninth, and it was all of the community courses and a lot of the church courses got together, and we did it at Olive Baptist, and it was just glorious. And
I'm sure that was lovely. Yeah,
a lot of fun.
Well, something I always like to ask people is how did you get interested in the arts? How did you get involved? What was your first kind of exposure or first involvement as a kid, maybe?
Well, as I said before, my very first solo in church, it was an Easter solo, and I remember it so well. It was about roses. My mom started me, and so I was in all the choruses in elementary school and middle school and high school. And then I did go to many colleges while my husband and I were traveling. I think UWF was my 6th or 7th, and so I was always in university choir. And opera really appealed to me because, who wouldn't love getting out on stage in a beautiful costume and singing your face off? That's kind of music that you get to sing when you're singing opera. And but I would like to say, first of all, the leaders, the directors, the maestros, the chorus masters. I learn something new every time I learn a new piece. And it's Cody, you're one of them, Peter, Jerry, Kyle, Shaolin, they're all, and I've also sung all over the United States, and those, the leaders, the people who teach us how to sing these kind of things. We know, we read music, but being able to go from, the first phrase to the last phrase in a really artistic way, that's what I love.
That's a collaborative experience when you're working in a group like that. It's such a collaborative experience working in a big group like that.
Yes. And also the people. Pensacola Opera, the people that sing in the opera chorus are the best singers that I've ever sung with. It's constantly, we're singing something and then you sit back and go, whoa, that was really, really good. So those people, you know who you are. I appreciate being able to sing with them every time I come. I don't ever not want to come to a rehearsal because I get to sing with really, really good people.
It's a fantastic group. I love working with the chorus for sure. I mean, they're just all fun people. They're all nice people, and they all are there because they want to sing. And it's so that, you know, everybody wants to be there, which is a really great thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, if there's I don't know if anybody watching has any questions, but we do have a few more minutes. If anybody has any questions. I also would like to do a quick plug. I have recently created, and you might be interested in this, Mary. Just today, actually, I published a new page on our website, the Opera website, and it's all materials for children and adults for, you know, learning about opera, video materials. I have kind of compiled as much information as I can, so that you can hopefully have one resource to go to and find a few different things. And I'll keep adding to it as I find things. But that's on our website, PensacolaOpera.com, and it's under the Learn tab. There's a button that says Learn at Home, and there will be an ever-expanding list of resources, I'm sure, as I continue to come across them.
Yes. Oh, and also Choral Society of Pensacola is one of them. I sang with them for many, many, many years, and I've sung such beautiful oratorios with them, and that they are a wonderful community chorus. I think if anybody's interested, it's probably
that's a great group. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They're wonderful.
Well, it looks like we don't have any questions, so I guess we'll just end it there. Thank you again for being with us, Mary. And I look forward to seeing you hopefully at Trovatore when that happens. But if not, then next season, I'm sure.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me. Really had a great time.
All right. Thank you all for joining us. Stay tuned for our next events upcoming on OperaLIVE, and keep following us on the Facebook page. We've got a lot of exciting things planned.